Hello everybody, my name is Firo and welcome to my channel, Firo.Comix. I am so excited to be starting this video. I have been working on this comic since the year 2020 and it's called MISCHIEF. And if you've been following me on Instagram or anywhere else, you know that I have been struggling to complete this project. Every single summer I say to myself I'm going to finish it this year and then I never do. So this is basically just a video of me starting the project for the 17th time, and this time we're gonna get it done, I swear. So in the year 2020, I drew these two characters for my older YouTube channel, and I really fell in love with them. I just could not stop drawing them. I could not stop thinking about them, and over time, they developed a story in my head. Now, I was already writing a comic called Puppet, and I couldn't start this new one right away, so I had to finish the other one first, but over time, I just kept thinking about these two characters and eventually I had to write a comic about them. Now, this was all during COVID and I had a lot of time to draw because I was laid off of my job and I was graduating high school and I didn't have to go to school after a certain point because they kind of just gave up. And I then went to college, but first year of college was all online and it was really stupid. So I had so much time to just draw all night long, and I would draw from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and then go to class at 6 a.m. and then go back to sleep exhausted and then wake up at 9 p.m. again and just do the whole thing over and over again. And in that first original physical draft, because I did a digital version which was very short, but that wasn't the original physical version on paper and with ink, I drew about 40 pages of it, and at the time I was really happy with how the comic had turned out, but then after I let it sit, because after this point I got my job back again and I was going back to school in person and all these other things were happening, I didn't have the time anymore to complete it. So as I was walking around the pool deck, because I was a lifeguard, as I was walking around the pool deck, I was just thinking of different ways I could make this story, and the story just kept expanding and growing and it became so big, and every time I would look back at it again, I'm like, oh, I need to add this to the plot, I need to add this to the plot. So then I eventually started phasing out this original 40-page comic that I had spent countless nights working on, and even though it was totally fine at the beginning, I just started getting really perfection-y about it, and the more I added to it, the more annoyed I got with it, the more I felt like I needed to restart it. This became a very constant thing in this comic, was just the need to restart it, to add more details, to add more plot lines, and I ended up having a really difficult time finishing this comic because of that. Now we skip ahead to the year 2025 after the third or fourth rendition of this comic, and I'm looking at it and just I don't know what to do about this. I have restarted it so many times, I don't know what my original goal was. And so I went back to that 40-page sketch that I did, and I was just reading through it, and I was like, oh my god, this is what I wanted in the beginning. This was exactly what I was trying to do. It's not perfect, the plot isn't entirely fleshed out, but it was the feeling that I wanted from the original sketch was what was already there. And looking at that original sketch was like uncovering this treasure that I didn't even know I was capable of creating, and I can't believe I looked over it so quickly. So now, going back to what I am doing in this video and for the rest of my comic is just going back to that original 40-page sketch and finalizing it, completing it for the final actual time, and I'm not letting myself change it, even though I say that every single summer. This summer, I'm not letting myself change the story anymore. The reason I was never able to finish it and why I kept changing it and trying to perfect this thing was that I had so many story ideas and I wanted to fit them all into one book, when in actuality they were meant to be 2 or 3 different books, and I just didn't have the time or the resources or the energy right now to write a 400-page book. For example, one of the things that I did that you're actually watching right now me draw is I had these little funny scenes that the characters would get themselves in, and I excluded all of those from the version that I had just recently been working on. And the more I excluded these little funny joke scenes, the less that this book felt like what it had originally been. And it was the comedy of the original 40-page sketch that I really loved. And that comedy was so hard to put back in once I had made the book so long. It was like I wanted to put all these jokes in and things like that, but jokes don't add to the plot, so it was just taking too long. And the scene that I'm drawing right now is one of those where it's just a 6-panel thing at the beginning, but that was just too much if I wanted to do the entire story that I was planning most recently. So this whole video has been a bit of a ramble, and I apologize for that. I was going to talk more about what I'm actually doing, but I think I'll do that in a different video. My point of this all is that I really want to, if I don't finish it this summer, I want to at least get close, and I want to at least get to a point where during my next school year, because I'm still going to school, I don't feel so pressured to complete it right away. Like, I feel like a lot of Webtoons artists, they start their projects in high school when they have a lot of time, and then they go to university and they have no time, and they have to either go on a huge long hiatus and rechange their entire story, or they just quit and give up. And I never wanted to be that person, but I found more and more that I was becoming that artist, and I just couldn't live with myself if I continued my career and I just never finished all of these comics, all these ideas that I have. It's like they're trapped in my head and I need them to be free. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure some of you have the same feeling. I just needed to be free from all of these ideas, and this was one that for 5 years had been imprisoned in my brain, and it was really not feeling good anymore. So with that, that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you kind of stick around to see the progress of this. Thank you so much if you got this far. I hope you stick around for the next one, and I'll see you later. Good day.